Dobar dan, ja sam Ivana Glavaš Bakija, nakladnica i glavna urednica izdavačke kuće Illyrice. S nama je naša gošća, autorica romana Tajna mog turbana, Nadia Ghulam. Nadia, hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you in Croatia.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Voljela bih ovom prilikom razgovarati s Nadijom malo više osim o samom romanu, budući da su već mnogi book blogeri pročitali knjigu, pisali o njoj, preporučivali je, novinari su pisali o knjizi, napravili intervjue sa Nadijom. Možda bih voljela ovaj put napraviti nešto drugačije za kanal Illyrice. So Nadia, my first question would be, what do you miss the most from your country, Afghanistan?
I miss a lot my mother because for me, she was always with me till I came to Spain. When I became 21 years old and I arrived to Spain, always she was with me. Also, obviously, my everything, every details of my culture, of my country. So when I was little child, I was in refugee camp, a little bit far away from my homeland, like Kabul city, which is capital of Afghanistan. We was in a refugee camp. There, my mother was singing song for Kabul, and she was crying. And in that time, I was a little child. I didn't know why my mother is crying. And now, when I am far away from Afghanistan, I understand what was that songs about and why she was crying. Now, every details of Afghanistan that I miss.
I want to know more because people from Croatia do not know a lot about Afghanistan. So tell me, what are the things that you think that represent your country, your culture, like the positive things that you miss?
Yes, for example, Afghanistan is a country, the most hospitality country in the world. Like, we are poor, yes, but we have everything. We are sharing with our community, with the other peoples who were around us, with our guests. And we have like a very, very rich gastronomy, food, very, very rich, like... the dishes are incredible. Also beautiful mountains in the country. Everywhere you see that mountains, some of them are snow with, even in the summer, when you see all the snows around you, it is beautiful. And also we are very rich in the culture, language, because there is a lot of diversity and ethnicity. You will never get bored in the same country because you don't need to move a lot to see different things. Like in the country, there is a lot of different things which teach you a lot.
How many languages can you hear in Afghanistan?
Like 21 languages you can hear, yes.
Cool. And now you are living in Spain for 18 years. And what is the best part of living in Spain, in Catalonia?
My freedom as a woman, which is very important for me, because I think in the life the most important thing is freedom. When you have freedom, you can have anything you want. Otherwise, it will be, the life is very sad. So as a woman, I can do work, I can have friends, I can go anywhere I want, receiving education, because the education is very, very important for a woman freedom and for their economical freedom and also for their life. So these things makes me so proud to be in Spain, because thanks God I receive freedom there.
Like we talked, first for women education is important, then economical independence.
Yes, because both of them is together. Once make power another thing, so which is very important for every woman in the world to have access in education.
Do you ever feel like an immigrant in Spain? Or like...
Before, no, because I didn't know when Spain exists, or their languages, that Spain also have diversity of languages exist. I was in my city, in Kabul city, with my family. I never thought I will leave my family. But arrived a moment in my life that life was very, very difficult. I couldn't do anymore because I had a lot of injuries in my body, and I need medical treatment, which was difficult for Afghanistan to have it, because it was all injuries from bomb, and I need a very, very specific treatment. That's why I tried to go from Afghanistan, but I don't know where. My destiny took me to Spain.
And you stay there.
I stay there.
Mm-hmm. Everybody who read your book said it's about courage, like incredible courage. What do you say about it?
Well, behind the courage is effort. Because if you have only courage and you don't make efforts, you will not get it. This courage, behind of this, there is a lot of tears, there is a lot of difficulties, there is a lot of barriers, but I always thought that, of course, there is barriers in my life, there is difficulties in my life, but I have to stand up and watch that there is tomorrow will be another day. So I always, even in darkest moment on my life, I'm thinking about like, this will go past, and I have to cry for the moment if I feel, but tomorrow the thing will gonna change.
Like you told me yesterday that your life is about jumps over problems,
Yes.
or something like an
Yeah.
athlete.
I'm an athlete in front of problems. When the problems I face, I don't say, I cannot cross this. I'm saying this is another challenge for me. So I have to find a way to jump. And I become a very good athlete for that.
And you also told me about the marathon. Please tell me that.
Yes, this year in April, I was invited by World Central Kitchen to go to Boston and run a marathon. And I told them very honestly that, look, I never did a sport. I did a lot of things, but a sport I never did. So they told me we don't need a sport woman because we have a lot in the United States. We want to have someone resilient, someone to be strong mentally. We want that. I said, yes, I am, but I have a lot of injuries in my body, and probably I cannot because it hurts me. And they said, okay, Nadia, if you want to try. I said, okay, I will gonna try. And when I arrived to Boston, people were asking me that how many exercise you have done and all these things. I was like, I never did maximum 5 kilometers, but that's all. I didn't do exercise. And they said, but you know what is marathon? I said, no, very well, but I will try. And when I started to run the Boston Marathon in 6 hours and 10 minutes, I finished the marathon, and everybody was crying and they was amazed about how I did, because I had no preparation. But for me, it was like, in that moment, I feel about all the refugees. All refugees, women I met, and they had no shoes. And look, I go goosebumps because there was like some of them was pregnant and walking 100 kilometers. And when they arrive in a country, we are saying, why they are arriving in here? Nobody is offering them a glass of water or a little bit medicine or anything. So all these things makes me to feel like I was privileged in that marathon that I had shoes. And I was running, and a lot of people was giving me water or any piece of fruit.
So it's all about mental strength.
Yes, it is, because anything in your life, if you propose that you can do it, so you can do it. Because people can say to you, you're strong, you're blah, blah, blah. But if you don't believe, you cannot do it.
You have to decide it.
It's all about you and your emotions. So in that moment that I decide to do the marathon, from outside, I could receive a lot of feedback. Like some people, no, you cannot. Some people, yes, you can. Some people, you will do like 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers maximum. But in my heart, I was thinking, I will do it. And I have done.
You escaped Afghanistan, and now you have your own organization helping Afghan women. Can you tell us about that? In what way you help them?
Yes, I founded the organization Ponts per la Pau, which means Bridges for Peace. This organization created 2016, and for me it's more important from anything to give the dignity of the people, not taking their dignity. So for me it was very important that these women and children receive their dignity. And dignity, how we can give them? Through their knowledge. They accept them that they also have capability to do things. And in 2016 there was only 35 girls in my program, that's all. But when the situation of Afghanistan changed in 2021, from 35 people I have 515 women and girls in my program, and we are providing them education and also some tools for them to work. Like we have a lot of swing classes, which is allowed to do women swing in Afghanistan now, because they are not allowed to go to work out of home and go to get education, but inside of their house they can make clothes. Mm-hmm. So I create in their houses like swing classes. When the government, police, like Taliban is not there, so we have normal education, we have reading clubs, we have a lot of other activities for the health issues and other things that women really need in Afghanistan. We're providing them that.
And how many women are in your program now? 550
women in my program, and we are acting in 4 provinces of Afghanistan, like Herat, Kabul, and Baghlan, Nangarhar. Also, we open a small branch in Helmand. We work with a lot of diversity ethnicities, women, like from different ethnias of my country. But it all goes well. Like we have our difficulties because it's not easy in spite of all this oppression of the Taliban against women to work. But in my country there is an expression. They say, even the mountain is very high, there is always a way to cross. So it depends you to find a way to cross. So I'm doing that.
Great. And what was the reaction of the Afghan community and public when your book was published?
Well, for female gender, it's very proud things. That they are so proud that I exist and I did all these things. Mm-hmm. And finally, I become able to speak out about my life. But for male, sometimes they are not so happy with my work, because some of them is angry with me. Why you have done these things, and why you are talking about that women have no freedom, mm-hmm. which is very true. We have to express ourselves. So there is a lot of different people. Some people motivate me a lot, mm-hmm. and some people is they don't want me to talk.
How about the government, the politics, the politicians?
For the governments, my image is not something positive. So they are not very happy with my activism. But I'm always publicly saying to them that I'm not against religion. I'm not against anything. I just want education for women. and
that can't be bad.
Yes, and which is I want to sit down with them and I want to talk to them about religion, about anything. No God forbidden education for women. This is them. So when they are not agree with me, I'm saying, okay, you're saying according to what? According to Al-Quran? According to God? Please show me where is they say the woman cannot get education. So this is my argument against my government.
And they cannot win this argument.
No, so when they don't want to talk about this argument because they don't have answer, so they are just make me shut up.
Did you receive any threats?
I always receive threats, but this threats also a challenge for me, and I don't afraid to die, because this is my luck. Because I died so many times, and I can become again in this world. So when I don't afraid to die, when they are threatening me, we will gonna kill you. I'm saying when. Otherwise, I continue to speak out for other women that they don't have voice.
They don't have voice, yes.
They don't have voice, and they need us, need me. Most of these 550 girls that they are in Afghanistan, sometimes when I'm tired, when I am exhausted, I am saying I can't, they are saying, Nadia, please, don't allow us alone because we don't have voice. You are our voice. Talk about us. So this push me to talk about them.
Do you believe in change in future in your country? Could conditions get better?
I always, I'm optimist about things. Nadia means hope. So I am very hopeful that one day the things gonna change. When the international community is saying that we cannot work again with Afghanistan because everything finished, for me, because they don't want, otherwise always there is a way to work with Afghanistan. And we cannot punish Afghan women because of the Taliban. We have to give them a hand. We cannot give them a back and say, no, we cannot help you because in your country is Taliban. This is against human rights. This is against of human justice. So we cannot do that. And I'm hopeful that one day the people should reaction and give a hand to Afghan women, because we will gonna change our country. Mostly the Afghan diasporas
Yes.
that we are now
You
not
have
in
influence.
Afghanistan. But we know how is suffering my mother, how is suffering my sister, and what they need, because otherwise other people don't know. Like there is a lot of angels in the world, but if they don't work with Afghan diasporas, they work alone by themselves to change, bring change in my country, this is not the solution.
They don't know the conditions.
In these 20 years that United States was in my country, why the things doesn't change? Only change in Kabul city, which is capital of Afghanistan. All these women, all these kids that they are now Taliban, they are came because there was never got access to a pen or a notebook. So what we are waiting from them? They always see war and war and war. That's why they are now not reacting different.
No access to education.
No access to education. The education in these 20 years that Afghanistan was occupied by United States, and they represent that they bring us democracy. This democracy was only in big cities like Kabul, Mazar Sharif, Herat, big cities. But in villages, in provinces, there was
no
school.
change.
No school. And now these people from provinces, villages with ignorancy arrive in big cities. Oh my God.
Yes.
Now we have a big problem.
All the readers mention your mother as a strong personality in your book. We want to know more about her. she really got a great influence on me, and I talk to other people also. Like, she's an amazing woman, like very strong, very resilient also.
She is really, really a strong woman. She is the biggest philosopher of my life. Even she didn't know to read and write. She teach me a lot of values. She was always with me, and still from like now she is in Afghanistan and she is suffering from the Taliban regime, and she's suffering from the health issues and all these things. But still she's encouraging me, Nadia, just go ahead, don't go back, and go see your head, because you have to change a lot of things for the woman, for your country, and for people. So for me, my mother is a very, very important part of my life.
Thank God that you had her as a figure in your life to be with you with all these transformations and challenges you had. What about your friends? Because you had double identity. You had girls in school when the Taliban regime was over, and then you had a group of male friends also.
Yeah.
So when they found out the truth, how did they react? What was their reaction?
Most of them are now out of Afghanistan, so they know about my story, but they are in a state of shock because they cannot believe. Sometimes when I try to talk with them through like Skype, Zoom or something like that, they are treating me as a boy still. And when they want to make a joke about women and all these things, then they think, oh my God, now we cannot because she's a woman. And I'm saying, go ahead, because 10 years I listen your stories, so now you cannot stop, because I know everything about you, what you think, what is your mentality and all this. Publicly, they are very proud about me. They are saying, oh, you are the very, very talented and best, encouraging woman that I ever met in my life. But they don't want me to be related with their sister, their wife, their mother, because for them it's like I am a very, very
bad influence.
bad influence for them, and they don't want me. For me, it makes me sad, okay? Because if you're real friends and you see that a woman is enough to work, be good friend, be a very positive change for their family, so why you don't want to other women be influenced by me? But they are not saying this publicly. But most of them, I see that when I want to get contact with them, they disappear. It's like with women. In other sides, the female friends that I had, even their husband or their families make distance between us, there is no distance. Even we don't talk like in 1 year. When they are talking to me, it's like in the same day. We meet every day. We love each other, and for them, they are so glad that
they
I am
live
existing.
in Afghanistan. They're also out of the country.
Some of them are in Afghanistan, and some of them are out of the country. But we are connected with each other.
Do some people live better and some worse? Like, maybe in bigger cities, I don't know, in bigger communities, women are treated better or not, or it's all the same.
It is very different because, for example, Kabul city, the woman who could had access to go to university, hospital, anything. So now they are closed down at home, okay? Which they saw a little bit freedom, and again they are in a cage. Mm-hmm. For the women that they were in villages, they never saw school. So for them, it's the same.
They didn't lose anything. In fact, they don't know what
is like
there.
When I'm talking about the women in villages, they are not very, very sad because they don't have school already. They had no hospital. They had no freedom, and they have no freedom. But for big cities that they had a little bit freedom and they lost, for them is now like a heal everything.
I remember that your mother was feeling like that in the book when she had to wear hijabs every day. She was so frustrated.
Yes.
After other conditions.
Yeah, like she's frustrated too nowadays again by Taliban regime, because few days ago I talked to her and I asked her, how are you and how is going every day? And she is saying, thanks to you, we have a piece of bread to eat, a little bit medicine, but I am very tired with Taliban and their mentality. We cannot go out of home. We cannot go to the hospital. Why they are thinking like this? I want to say that they should get lost, but I cannot do anything. So I have to accept this situation and stay like this. And she was explaining me with a lot of pain and a lot of sadness. I know what she's thinking, but we cannot do anything
at the moment. So you were writing a book with the journalist Agnes Roger for 2 years. What were your expectations of the book? Why did you write it, and what were your expectations?
There was big reason that I write this book. First of all, it was the ignorance and knowledge of the people, because when I arrived to Spain, I see there is newspaper, there is TV, there is book, but they still don't know anything about Afghanistan. Like when I went to school, the people was talking about Afghanistan, like drugs, Taliban, hashish, and lots of things. And I like, no, my country is so beautiful. We are human. Our hope is go to school. Our hope is to have a notebook, a pen. And why the people don't know about this? And that's why one of the reasons was that I decided to write the book. And the second reason was because my story was already in the hand of a lot of journalists around the world. So I knew that if I speak or not, they will gonna speak for me. But who is better than me to speak for myself and to be owner of my own story? Because there was a lot of misuse from my story. And this time I didn't want to allow them. I want to be the owner of my story, because who deserves to take advantage from this story? It's me and my mother, that we both suffer. And that's why I decided to write this book. And my perspective to how could be this book, I was very optimist from beginning that a lot of people will gonna read me. A lot of people will gonna know about me, and hopefully to make change. I don't know about the adults when they are reading the books and if they bring some change in the world, but I am very, very sure about the young adults that they are reading my books, because I'm in contact with them. They are following me in my social media and everything, and they are saying that how this book changed their mentality. Because as you know, nowadays in all Europe, there is a lot of racism, there is a lot of people against migrants, and they don't know why this war, what does it mean?
Why did they come?
Yes. And what does it mean to fall a bomb in your house? So for them, it looks like a fiction, far away from them.
Now it's knowledge.
When they are reading the book and they see me that I exist as a human, and they are sending me letters, emails, saying, Nadia, thank you for sharing your story. Through your story, I understand a lot of things, and I will gonna try in future as a young person to not be involved in this weapon industries and this armamentic industries which destroying the people's lives like you. I will work for peace. And this is my hope and this is my dream. That for this reason I write this book.
You told me about the young readers in Spain, about young readers in Germany. I assure you, we are going to organize a few reading clubs in high schools, reading your books, your book. among other books in our program. So we are sure Creation teenagers will also meet your story, and I wonder what their questions would be like. I'm looking forward to these book clubs.
Thank you so much for giving them this opportunity and sharing my voice to them, because it's very important. They should know the importance of the peace in the world.
True. You won the most prestigious Catalan award for this book, like Prudenci Bertrana. What was your reaction?
I was so happy, so glad that in the city where I was living, that in the world of literature, they could recognize my story. I don't consider myself a writer, but I'm a storyteller, and I'm so happy, so glad that they consider my story for this award. And it opened a lot of doors for me, and it allowed me to my story and my voice arrive to so many million people in the world.
You told me about it's translated to 16 languages.
Yes.
So that's a big impact on the world. Congratulations. And you told me about your other artistic work apart from your activism. Please tell us more about it.
Yeah, so I believe that through art you can explain very, very difficult things. So I use the art, different format of the art, to express myself, like through book, through poetry, through theater, because I have 2 theater performances, and that I am acting, and I co-write the script of these theaters, and I act in different theaters.
You are an actor in play called Nadia.
Yes.
It's played in Barcelona for how many years? 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years, and it still continue because people love it. Mm-hmm. And it is a kind of theater documentary because it is alive. So I am always updating with actuality. Mm-hmm. Like this, one part is my story, that what happens to me, and one part is what is going on now, and what I'm doing as a person through this new change and challenges that are coming in my country with women and all these things. So I am not with hands crosses. I am working. I'm taking action. When people is only talking, I say it's nonsense. Just take action, even it's very small. Take action, and you can make change.
In your other books?
Yes, I have 6 more books apart of The Secret of My Turban, which 3 of them are stories. Stories about refugees, stories about the value of the life, and also one of them is which is very, very special in my heart, which is all the collection of the stories my mother was telling me while I was in hospital. And that stories was medicine for me, because in hospital I had no medicine, no any cure, and no everything. I had the stories of my mother. So I did a homenage for my mother and make this collection.
So your mother was a storyteller too, I guess.
Yes, and all the things I am today, the storyteller and actress or anything I'm doing is thanks to her, because this is that she
had the spirit.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
There's so many interesting things we talked about. Maybe you just have one message for Croatian readers or for Croatian young generations to come. Just one final message.
Yes, I want to say to all the young generation to be active agent of peace. It doesn't mean that always think about peace. Take action for peace, smallest things, like thinking about peace and taking care about each other. All these things make a positive energy in the world, because nowadays they are listening a lot of words about the war, and they are used to think it is normal. Please it's not normal to be war in the world. We have to be active agent of peace and work for the peace.
That's true. Thank you, Nadia.
Thanks to you.
Nadam se da ste uživali u ovom razgovoru sa Nadijom. Ovaj razgovor je dio našeg projekta Nadilaženje granica ženskih glasova u europskoj književnosti. Nadija je predstavnik katalonske književnosti jer je njezin roman Tajna mog turbana napisan na katalonskom jeziku. Ovaj program podupire Europska unija, Grad Zagreb i Ministarstvo kulture i medija. Hvala.